Hey yo, what's good? It's your man MikeO from Let's Talk About It. So let's talk about it. So Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia trying to agree to a fight. Now, when I think about this, the only upside I see is Devin Haney. Outside of Garcia winning, there's really no upside to this because the pressure and all the risks fall on you. And let me explain why. Because right now, Ryan Garcia, he's still high on popularity from being YouTube, kind of a girl crush type dude. So he's bringing in money. People are trying to see him. He brought in $5 million against Duarte. Now, here's why this is important. Now, when he fought when he fought Tank Davis, he made $30 million. And it's because it's a big fight, but he got knocked out. Now, what happens is you fight Devin Haney and you lose. The door for fighting champions is gonna close. The door is gonna get a lot smaller for you to get those big fights. Now, I keep going back to Duarte, 5 million he made. Now, the reason I go back to that is because there's other fights you can take that'll generate more. If you're making 5 million for Duarte, you probably can get, I'd say, 10 million if you were to fight a Rolly. You would get more than 5 million if you fought a Prograis. There's a lot of fighters that you can fight that's not in that elite competition. You can set up several fights to start generating more money and then go down the road and beat a Haney. Unless you feel like you're not good enough for these fighters and you want to fight Haney for the big check. And again, if you lose, your opportunities are going to be dwindling down. So all pressure is on you. For Haney, it's none. He'd get a rematch. He'd make, 30, $40 million, probably more fighting Garcia. I'd assume more if Tank made more as well. So there's no downside to him fighting you, but there's a huge downside with you fighting him. Now, and again, there's a lot of other fighters out here that could be mentioned. You have Josh Taylor, Gary Russell, like I said, Prograis, even Rolly. These are fighters that you can line up to make good money and possibly win, and still go on to great things. Whereas to you fight Haney and you lost, now you've lost to Tank and Haney, which you can say are two of the best. But now I think you start losing the excitement or the hype to fight you down the road. Now, again, you build up your resume and you have less competition than Haney, less competition than Tank, And again, for me, the perfect fight for him is Rolly. This tells you where he stands. It tells where both fighters stands because they both lost to Tank Davis. And in both fights, it would prove to show if they're in that elite class or they're still trying to get in that tier 2 class, which again, I think is a perfect situation. Both fighters, they should make good money. Rolly's excellent at talking shit. So he would definitely hype up the fight. He already has, Garcia already has the YouTube popularity and he's becoming an established boxer. He's behind Golden Boy, so that promotion should be enough to put him through unless he turns on them or they turn on him. And that's a whole nother drama that we'll get into if it ever escalates more. But Rolly would be a perfect situation for him. I just really think that Garcia needs to think long term. I think he's thinking short distance, big check. And I don't think that that's going to equate to a large future in boxing for him. I just think that's what it is. I think that he needs to pace himself and start to, eventually get to bigger and better fighters. But I think that once you just start being thrown in with the big dogs, it's not going to help you because I'm going to be honest. I don't think that he's skilled enough to beat a Haney. I think Haney is going to dissect this man for 12 rounds. I think that Garcia could last 12 rounds and he may win a few rounds, but I don't think that's going to be enough to beat somebody in the likes of Devin Haney. I just don't see it happening. Again, any upper echelon fighter would love to fight Ryan Garcia. It's a big check and almost a low risk reward out of it, because I don't think that Garcia is ready to be fighting elite fighters yet. I think that he could become a upper echelon fighter, but I think again you start throwing him in with Devin Haney's, and he's fought Tank Davis's and even Shakur Stevenson. I don't think he's ready for that elite competition yet. I think he can be there, but he needs to pace himself. Careful what you wish for. And I will say again, this is hands down a must win for Ryan Garcia if he were to take this fight. Because once you lose to Devin Haney, what's next? If I'm Shakur Stevenson, do I really want to fight you? If I'm Rolly, do I really want to fight you? If I'm any of the top fighters at 140 at that point, do I want to fight you? Because now you're not even a stepping stone. You've been eliminated already. Some of the top 140 fighters, which he can fight, now wouldn't want to fight you because, again, they're trying to step up to fight the Tanks, and the Devin Haney's, and those type of guys. So I think that best bet for him is Rolly. I think it's perfect. Good test to see where they're at. And then from there, I think you should fight someone on that level at the 140 mark before you try to come for Devin Haney. Because again, if you lose to one of those guys, you could still power back through and build up your resume. But if you lose to Haney, you're already losing to the top. I don't think that there's no going backwards from there when you already lost to Tank Davis as well. But let me know what you think. Please subscribe. Until next time, I'm out.